Hello everyone, my name is Pastor Inseka. I am here today to do a video about the student loan crisis that we have in this country and the ways that you can go to college without getting into student loans or to significantly reduce the cost of going to school. Now, I have done a little bit of research on this topic, and I have a few points over here that I just want to go over with you guys. Hopefully, it won't take too much time, but it's a lot of information. I will try as much as I can for it not to take too much of your time. By the way, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. To get started, now, the best way, in my opinion, to pay for college is to pay cash if you have the money. That is that is just simple logic. There's no explanation in that. If you have the money, you just pay for it and just go to school debt free. Number two is 529 plan. If you're a parent and you have a little child, I will advise you, if you do not have it right now, to go and get one if it's something that you are interested in. It's a tax advantage plan. It's something that you put money in it, just like a savings account. And by the time the child is ready to go to school, ready to go to college, I mean, the money will be there and it can be taken out tax free. It can only be used for college expenses only, like tuition, room and board, books, supplies, fees, equipments, everything that is involved in the school. There's another one that's very similar to the 529 plan. It's called the Coverdell Education Savings Account. It's a little bit different from the 529 plan because with the Coverdell, that can be used for elementary school, it can be used for middle school, it can be used for high school, as well as college. Now, 529 you can only use for college. But the disadvantage with the Coverdell is that there's contribution limit to it. I think it's about $2,000 the last time I checked that you can put in there annually. For the 529 plan, there's a lifetime limit though that you can put in there. As as soon as you reach that limit, you cannot go further than that. With the 529 also compared to the Coverdell, with the Coverdell, there's a age limit to it. When the individual turns 30, they're gonna start incurring some penalties and taxes. But you can pass that over to somebody else who's less than 30, and they can use it. And the same thing with the 529 plan is that you can also pass it to another family member that they can use it. Let's say you are going to school and you are lucky enough to have a scholarship or something like that. Then if you have a younger brother or any other family member, you can pass it on to them and they can use it. So that's a very good thing, in my opinion, that people can look into. Now, another one is scholarships. Scholarships are all over the place, but sometimes they can be hard to find. There is no simple website that you can go to and find everything that you need. With scholarships, you have to do a lot of research. Go to these search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, and look for it. They're all over the place, but you're gonna have to know what you're looking for and where to go. Some of the well-known scholarships out there are academic scholarships that you can get through, you know, your academic prowess, or you have athletic scholarships. That's what you see these athletes have. These NCAA football and basketball players, baseball players. I mean, you can have it in pretty much any sport. So that is also something that people can also look into. I mean, if you're a parent and you have a child that's interested in any of these sports, I will suggest that you try to encourage them as much as possible because you never know. They can be lucky and be able to qualify for some of these scholarships. You know, it is the chances of them qualifying for a scholarship are much better than get into the NBA or get into the NFL or Major League Baseball. So if you have a child that's into sports, I will suggest that you encourage them as much as possible. Also, in terms of academics, also you have a child that's doing well in school, you know, do as much as you can to try to support them. Because there could be a chance that they will be able to qualify for some of these scholarships also. Now, there are other different ways of getting scholarships. There are scholarships based on disability. There are scholarships based on your race. Scholarships based on community service. Scholarships based on whatever you want to study. So whichever one of these apply to you, just go and search for it. Hopefully, you will find resources out there that you can utilize to be able to qualify for some of these scholarships. Now, the next one is to stay in state. Now, this one is a little bit kind of tricky because, I mean, it is going to cost you a lot of money if you do not understand how it works. If you stay in a state and you want to do a program and you did not do enough research to see whether the program is being offered in your state, the only thing you see is that it's being offered in another state and you decide to go to that state. Or maybe just some of your friends are going to that state and you just want to go to that state also. Be very careful because once you cross that state line, you're going to be going to another state and you're going to be paying out of state tuition. That can be very, very expensive if you do not have a scholarship. And some 529 plans also, they do not cover that. Most 529 plans, they only cover the state that you stay in. There are some that will cover out of state tuition, but it's not all of them. So you better do your research before you cross that state line to go to another college somewhere else. Just like I said, it can be very expensive. Out of state tuition sometimes can be double what you were paying for in state. And I'm pretty sure if you do enough research, the program that you're doing, there could be a university in your state that's offering the program that you can do, and that will save you a lot of money. Your choice of college can cost you a lot if you're not careful. So the next one is to stay at home. If you're staying in state, try as much as you can to stay at home. Room and board is very, very expensive, especially for you parents if you are paying for your child to go to college. Room and board sometimes can be as much as what the school is charging for tuition, unless you have a scholarship. Other than that, I would suggest to stay at home, go to your nearest college, and if you're going to be driving, if you're going to be riding the bus, if you're going to be riding a bike, whichever one, I would suggest you do that, and that will save you a lot of money also. But before I go any further, these are things that parents need to talk to their kids about. And you have to start having these conversations early in the life of the child. I mean, you cannot just wait until they're in high school and they're ready to go to college and you want to start these conversations. These are things that you guys need to be talking about, way before the kid even gets to high school or just right after they get into high school. I'm pretty sure, most of these kids, they will understand if you talk to them. Just tell them what the financial situation is at home and just try to educate them about these student loans, and just debt in general. What are some of the consequences of getting yourself in debt, especially for education, because they're going to be incurring some other debts right after they can get out of college. They'll probably want a car, they'll probably want a house, they may get into credit cards, and all of these things. So I think the earlier you start talking to them about these things, I think the better it is. Hopefully they will make the right decisions when the time comes. And also parents also, do not let them make these decisions by themselves. You as a parent need to be a parent during these times. These are times that your input would be needed. You cannot just leave an 18-year-old to make some of these decisions. These are very, very costly decisions that can cost either you or the child a lot of money. I mean, I do not believe in the notion that, once you turn 18, you are an adult, you can do whatever you want. It may be true in some cases, but I remember when I was 18, some of the decisions that I've made, I am definitely not proud of them right now. So at that age, I don't believe that the human brain is fully matured to be able to make some of these decisions. So I am appealing to all the parents. If you have a high school kid, try to sit down with them and try to help them with these kind of decisions. Where they want to go to school, what is it that they want to study, and all of these things. And also coming to what they want to study, I think that's something also that parents need to be very, very involved in it. I mean, you cannot let these kids go and choose a major that is not marketable out there. I mean, the prospects of having a job in that field are very, very, very low. These are what I call high risk majors. The money that you are investing in it and what you're going to be getting when you get out, I mean, sometimes it's not worth it. So you got to look at the ROI, the return on investment on some of these majors. So I think that's very, very important that parents talk to their kids about these things, and hopefully the kid will be able to make the right decision. Now, the next one is getting into community colleges. Now, this is something that I'm a big fan of. I did it myself, and I've seen a lot of people who've done it, and I mean, so many of them right now, that's all they did, and they're living great lives. They have good paying jobs, and most of them do not even have student loan debts. So going to community colleges is a great resource that people can tap into. I mean, even if whatever program you want to do is not being offered at the community college, you can go to the community college and do all of your core classes over there, what they call the prerequisites. You can do all the prerequisites at the community college and then transfer them to whatever college you want to go to, whatever university, a 4-year university that you want to go to. I mean, the example that I always like to give is, let's say you stay here in the state of North Carolina, you stay in the Raleigh area, Wake County. I mean, you want to go to, let's say, a school like NC Central or NC State or ECU, and they have a program over there, let's say maybe nursing, and then you don't want to do the nursing program at the community college level, even though they have it over there, what they call associate degree nursing. You don't want to do the program there. You can just take the core classes or the prerequisites and transfer them to the nursing program at North Carolina Central University, if that's where you're going. But you have to make sure that those are the right classes that you're taking. You have to get in contact with the NCCU nursing program and make sure that you are very familiar with their curriculum and you take the classes that are needed in order for them to be able to transfer. So I've seen a lot of people do that, and it saved them a lot of money, because if you want to take your core classes at the university themselves, I mean, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So that is a route that I've seen a lot of people took, and it saved them a lot of money. Or, I mean, if the community college is offering the whole program that you're interested in, I mean, take the whole program over there. You know, take the whole program. That's what I did. I did my program in a community college, and right out of community college, I got a job, and from there, I worked in that field for a couple of years and realized that this is a field that I want to be in, and then there I went to pursue my bachelor's degree. And whilst pursuing that bachelor's degree too, and you are employed, you can also use your employer's tuition reimbursement program if they have it there. Most employers do. So go either to the the human resource website, talk to your supervisor, talk to your manager about this program. It's very, very helpful. I mean, the way it works in most places is that before you sign up for classes, you have to submit those classes to the program director, and that program director will approve it. It has to be something that's related to whatever you're doing at that job. If you're trying to move from one stage or one position to another position, things like that, um, it has to be approved. And then right after that, you can take the classes, and you have to pass the classes, whatever classes you're taking. You have to have at least a C or something better than that. You cannot fail the class. If you fail, they're not going to reimburse you the money. If you pass, then at the end of the semester, you fill out another form, and they will refund you the money. You have to pay first. At the beginning of the semester, you pay for yourself, and at the end, they will reimburse you the money. Most employers have like a cap. You cannot um, take as many courses. That's gonna cost maybe $5,000, $10,000. No, most employers, they have like a $5,000 limit or $5,500 limit. That you can use. You cannot go more than that. And also, another way this program works is you can only go to a school that is approved by your employer. Um, Here in North Carolina, I think you can go to any school here that's in the south around here. You can go to a school in South Carolina. You can go to a school um, around the Tennessee area. Around the Georgia area. Those kind of things. And it doesn't really matter whether it's online or not. But for the most part, it has to be online because you're still working. So that's also something else that people can look into also. And the next one is to get a job. To get a job while you're going to school. Now, my favorite way of doing this is to get a job at the school that you are going to. Because the way this works is whilst you work for the school is not going to be paying you. They're not going to put money in your hands. They're going to be using that money and apply it towards your tuition. So it's not like you're working for free. No, you're not. But at the same time, too, it may look like you are going to school for free. So it kind of works out both ways. This was something that I did when I was going to community college. I worked for the school. I mean, the schools have a lot of departments. You can either work at the game room, you can work at the gym, you can work at the cafeteria, you can work at the registrar's office, the admissions office. There are a lot of places that you can get a job at the school, and this is a really good program that the schools offer. That you can work at the school, and they will apply that pay towards your tuition, which is really good. And but if you do not have the chance or the opportunity to work for the school, I mean, you can get a job outside. You can just go get a regular job. Depending on how many hours you want to work. And I really don't see this, affecting your GPA that much. Because I've done it, it did not affect my GPA that much, and I've seen a lot of people who've done it. And I actually went to school with a guy who did it and was able to maintain a 4.0 GPA, and that's how he graduated from college. So that is um, that is just something to kind of show that it depends on the individual. It's not based on the job or the kind of classes that you're taking. It just depends on your dedication. So and also like with this whole job thing also, I mean, just the experience that you're getting from this job, that may go a long way, right after you finish college. You will have that experience with you. Most of these employers, that's what they're looking for. I mean, they will like to hire you, since that, you have the degree and you have the high GPA, But if I have the same thing like you, but I have an experience, working, they'll probably hire me before they hire you, because experience is something that's very, very important to most of these employers. So that is something that people really need to pay a little bit attention to, and just going to school and you know not having a job. I mean, it works out for some people, but I don't really see anything wrong with having a job while she's going to school. So, and my other one is to delay college. I mean, if your financial situation wouldn't allow you to go to college right away, I mean, you can delay college for a year or two, and get a job, get as many jobs as you can, save the money, and also get that experience that I was talking about, not too long ago. Um, use your networking skills just in order to, be able to, talk to people, you know, um, know, some things that you can use, do research, and all of these kind of things, whilst you are not going to college, So delaying college, in my opinion, is not a bad thing, you know. But you have to also, it also has this disadvantages, You may delay it and just focus on the money so much that you totally just you know don't think about the big picture anymore, which is going back to school. But the advantage is, you you are saving money and you are getting that experience. So when it's time to go back to college, you'll be much more prepared. And another advantage of this is that, I mean, a lot of kids, you know, when they're ready to go to college, they don't know what they want to study. So, and that is something that can have, devastating, effects. I mean, you just want to go to college and you don't know what you want to study, I mean, or you just keep changing your major like every semester or every year. I mean, you're going to be in school for a long, long, long time, so it's better to have a plan before you go to college. Know what you want to study. Just like I was saying in the beginning, parents, this is where you come in. Help your kids choose what they want to study. And so if you were to delay college, that 1 or 2 years that you are not in college, I'm pretty sure you can decide at that time what you want to do, and with the maturity that you also get from working, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure that can also help you to decide what is it that you want to do. So, and also like with with internships also, you know, I mean, they may not pay you a lot, but you can go and do internships, somewhere. If you know what you want to do, just go. If you want to be a computer engineer, or a software developer, whatever you want to be, you just go to an IT company, talk to the manager, and tell them what your situation is. Hopefully they will let you in, and you can kind of shadow those guys over there and see what they do, see how they do it, and just make sure that it is the right thing for you. Because I've done it before. I wanted to do something, and I was able to talk to somebody who let me in, and but when I went all the way in, I realized that this was not for me. Even though I kind of thought that it was something that I wanted to do, but later I realized that this is not for me. So uh, just being able to do that can also kind of help you a lot, and you never know, it can save you a lot of money, because you don't want to go to school for something that you don't know how it works, you don't have any experience in it, and after you get out, you kind of feel like this is not what you want to do for the rest of your life. So getting that internship or getting a mentor, in that field that will kind of help you, make up your mind and kind of decide if this is the right thing for you or not. So another thing is to join the military. If that's something that you want to do, if you want to serve your country, there's nothing wrong with that. You can go join the military. They have the GI Bill that you can use to go to school also, debt free. So that's a pretty good option that the federal government, provides, So I've seen a lot of people use it. It's a pretty good program. So if that's something that you want to do, you can sign up for it. Um, get the GI Bill and go to school for free. And another thing is the high it's like the high school dual credit program, or also some of them call it the academic enrichment opportunities program. I mean, most universities offer this program to high school seniors and sometimes high school juniors. You know, you have to be a high school junior or high school senior, and you have to have a high GPA, sometimes a GPA of 3.5 or higher, and also you have to be on track to graduate on time also. So that means you have to be very, very dedicated, and you also have it also requires that you have the approval of your high school counselor or the principal to kind of make you eligible for this program. But the way it works is that whilst you're going to high school, you will have the opportunity to take some of these college classes, that will be able to transfer, once you start college. Um, it is offered in many universities, so that's something that people can look into also. If you have a kid that's doing well in school, or if you are the kid, who's watching this, look into that and see if that's something that you can qualify for, and just get yourself started, you know, a little bit earlier than most of these other kids. And with that also, the once you finish high school, the admissions, process is going to be much easier because you're already in the system. And also, whilst you're doing that, also you will have access to the school, you will have access to the library, and most of these other resources at the university. So that's something that people can look into also. I've seen a lot of kids who are doing it. They're very, very dedicated kids who are doing very well at school. So if you have a child that is very dedicated, they can look into this, but it's not an easy program. Some colleges offer it, during the summer. Some offer it, during the fall, or during the spring. So, but just look into it. Look at some of the universities that are close to you and see if they offering this program, and see if you can sign up your child for it, or if you are the child that's watching this, that you can sign yourself up for this. But like I said, it has to have the you have to have the approval of your high school counselor or the high school principal. So, and the last one here is, I mean, it's not a well, it's the public service loan forgiveness program. You know, if you already have student loan debts, but my advice is not to get into student loans. But sometimes, life happens. You have no choice but to take student loans. But they have this public service loan forgiveness program. I mean, you have to be paying for 10 years, which is 120 payments. You cannot miss any payment, and you cannot be in default, and you have to be fully employed whilst you're doing this. You have to be employed by a public service organization in order to be able to qualify for it. So that's also something that people can look into. So those were my points that I have for going to school without incurring any student loan debt, or to significantly reduce the cost of student loans. I mean, we all know what the situation is right now. The current student loan debt in the United States here is about 1.3 trillion dollars. That is a whole lot of money. I mean, just 10, 12 years ago in 2000 was it 2004? I mean, that number was $200 billion, and now it's at 1.3 trillion dollars. That's more than a 500% increase in a space of 10, 11, 12 years. So that's a that's a that's a crisis in my opinion. I mean, people really need to look into these things, before they get into it. I mean, about 60% or so of people going to college, borrow money to do it. I mean, but there are a lot of avenues. There are a lot of ways that you can go to college, without incurring, these student loans. I mean, I have two kids. They're 8 and 10. With these numbers, with the debt being at 1.3 right now, how much will it be by the time they're ready to go to college? By the time my 8 year old is ready to go to college, with the way the numbers are going right now, 500%. By the time he's ready to go to college, that debt could be about $6 trillion. So that is something that something needs to be done about it. I saw the state of New York the other day. Was it sometime last month that they were proposing free tuition for all the public universities and community colleges there. To be qualified, you have to make $125,000 or less. So I'm hoping that the lawmakers over there in New York will be able to pass this bill, and hopefully others in other states will also do the same thing also. And one thing that I forgot is, you know, for parents to kind of encourage their kids to get into some of the STEM programs, the science, technology, engineering, and math programs. I mean, these programs, I was just talking about return on investment. The return on investment on these programs, is really good. You get into these programs, 9 out of 10 times you will get a pretty good job that will um, make you, pretty good money. So that's something that people need to consider also, because if you have a student loan debt of 30,000 to 35,000, which is the average right now, and it takes about 21 years to pay these student loan programs, which is also the average, you know, you need a pretty good job in order to be able to pay it off faster than the average. So getting into a program that the return on investment, is a little higher than what I usually call the high risk majors. You know, I mean, it's something that people need to look into, and also, be very careful into the programs that you're getting into. I mean, because some of these skills, I mean, they can become obsolete, in about 5 to 10 years or so. I mean, these are skills that will not be needed anymore in the job market. So be also kind of careful about those things. Kind of do some research about it, and make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. Because I mean, just going to college, doesn't mean that you're going to be successful in life. I mean, I understand that going to college, somebody with a college degree, makes more in their lifetime than somebody without a college degree. But I mean, talking about success, is success correlated to a college degree? I don't think so. I mean, if it is, I mean, it's not a perfect correlation. There are a lot of people out there without college degrees that are doing very well for themselves. But I would encourage people to go to school. Because I've seen the benefits of going to school. I mean, especially if you're an immigrant like me, coming from a different country. sometimes that's our way out. So that's something that these are things that people can look into, and hopefully it will benefit somebody. I mean, I've used most of these things that I've said, and I've seen other people use it also, and it kind of helped them a lot. Because sometimes I just sit down and wonder, what would have happened if I was to have student loans. I mean, I went to school debt free. I've never had student loans. But how would my life have been if I had these student loans? Like the 30,000 that you are hearing out there, people having in student loan debt. What would have happened? How would my life be? But at the same time too, what if my kids get themselves into these things also? How would their lives be? You know, so I think it's a obligation for all parents, to try as much as they can not to get their kids into this, because the success of our kids, it's our success also. I'm not saying that we're going to depend on these kids for money or anything like that, but them not depending on us, I mean, that's success in my opinion. Them being able to, do things for themselves, have their own places, have their own families, you know, that's going to give us as parents, the freedom to kind of, focus on our retirements, our investments and all of these kind of things. So it's our obligation as parents to kind of educate these kids, especially things like personal finance, debt, and all of these things, not to get themselves, too much into it. So this is what I had for you guys today. I do not know everything. I'm pretty sure some of you guys who are watching this may also know other ways of going to school without incurring any student loan debt. I mean, if you do, please post it in the comments. I really appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I see that it's about